Hi, I'm Troy Michaels. We're still here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where we took a bedroom and now we're making it into a workout room. Now we've emptied the room, as I showed you before. The room is full of furniture. We got rid of the furniture, we moved the bed into the other room, and we're going to create a new bedroom for the mother-in-law that lives here. Now what we're going to do is we sold the furniture. We used the money for the furniture to be able to do this room. So those of you who are working on a really tight budget, that's a way you can be able to save your money and not be able to use it from your savings account, but use for what you've got in your home. So we use the furniture for our remodel. Anyway, when you want to do a remodel, redecorating, whatever it is you're going to be doing, you want to think of your house as like building a house with the roof being your foundation. So our roof in this instance is going to be the ceiling. So what we're going to do with the ceiling is we're going to scrape the ceiling, take off the acoustical, and give it more of an updated look to it. Now you don't necessarily need to do this maybe in your home. We've just opted to be able to do this, and it's going to be quite nice and get rid of this old dated look to it. Now what you want to make sure that you want to do is maybe take a little test of it down and make sure that it's not asbestos. Being in this business for 26 years, and then also with the home, the age of it, I know this isn't asbestos, so it's not going to be an issue with us. What I have done is I've pre-wet it down a little bit. You want it to soak in. And what I did is I went to the hardware store. You can get this at any hardware store. This is just a garden sprayer for weeds. And I got this for $8, which was great. And you just want to be able to take it and spray on some water, let it soak in for maybe about 5-10 minutes maybe. You might need to do it again. I'm not sure. It just depends on how thick that your acoustical ceiling is. Now, if you don't know how to do that and you do want to do that, you might want to check the internet. You can also go to the library. They can explain to you how to be able to remove your ceiling. Now, to make sure that we've done that, we've removed the wallpaper that you saw that was on this wall. Now, there's hardly any glue on it, but what you might want to do is you want to scrape your walls, get any of the excess glue off. But then what you also want to do is get a primer and put primer over the top of it before you put your paint on. If you put paint on top of glue, sometimes it can give it a crackled look. Unless you're going for that old world look, you don't want to have your walls all crackled. So you want to be able to prime it first with the primer and then put on your paint. You may need to put on 2 coats of paint on top of that as well. But make sure you do remove your glue and everything. You also want to remove any nails that might be from the walls. Over here what we have is we removed the old hardware from the draperies that were up here. So you might want to fill in any of the holes here. Some of the old plaster came off, so you want to be able to fill that in as well. Okay. The other thing that you want to do is if you do have bumpy walls or anything like that, it's always best to take a caulking gun and go into the corners and just do a little bead down the center here between the 2 walls and just wipe off the excess. So if you do have a heavy texture, if you're doing 2 different colors of paint, then that way you'll have a nice clean line. You won't have any of the little jagged edges when you're trying to cut in on the corners. You also want to do that to the top. Now if you're planning on keeping your acoustical ceiling, a lot of the acoustical ceilings, they sprayed right to the wall. So you might have a jagged look on it. So what you want to do is you want to just scrape it with just a flathead screwdriver, and that's going to give you a nice 1/4 of an inch gap between the ceiling and the wall. And then you can be able to go around and be able to do your caulking, again giving you that nice clean look, which is really a great way to do it. Now, let's talk about the ceiling here again. What we're going to do is we're going to show you how to scrape the ceiling up here. Like I said, I've already pre-wet it, showed you how to spray it, and it's very easy to come down. Now there's not going to be a lot of dust. You might want to wear a mask. I don't necessarily need to wear a mask on this. You should wear a mask though. But it's not going to create any dust. So watch. You can start pretty much anywhere. Just comes right down. Now, if you get any like this up in here, it means I need a little bit more water. So you might want to add a little bit more water to it. You can kind of tell if it's wet or dry, and this is kind of drying out. So you might want to, respray it. Now next what you want to do is after you've removed all of your acoustical ceiling, then what you want to do is if there's any what they call dimples from where they have hammered the drywall in, you want to fill those in and then lightly sand, or you can be able to take a dry, like a wet rag, and you can wipe it down as well and get off any of the excess before you do your texture. But we're going to go to our next webisode and we'll show you how to do the texturing on that. So stay tuned with us, and we'll see you in a little bit.